Hey tubes, Jonathan's wrong here. Truth on a budget. So I'm on Route 3. It's not really moving all that great, but obviously back in Massachusetts. Kind of tired. Gonna make a couple videos after a nice nap. Gosh, I hate how people are like greedy and don't merge, when like you give them a chance, they think they could sneak up further and then merge in, then the same people try to like jam in. Anyway, sure would like to get out of the Northeast one of these days. Anyway, it's really tired. Spent about 5 or so hours driving yesterday and then like worked a full day. Didn't really sleep all that well. And got up and I'm driving back. Unfortunately, it's just like it's one of those situations where like I don't know how I could live around non-Christians. Like, it's just not, I can't see it working. Like, the only thing I could like really do is like try to reminisce about movies and music that I used to be into that I'm not really into anymore, and I just don't like really talking about, like, it's just rough sometimes trying to find something to talk about nowadays, especially. Like, I've always been a bit strange, but I don't know, now it's just like I feel like I just can't be myself at all, and they're all very nice. I don't feel like they understood the whole I have no interest in being gay type of thing. I have a whole nother story about all that. Like I said, very nice. I liked everyone there, but I was just not a good fit. Unfortunately too, I found that I'm gay candy, and like, I don't think I could live in a situation where I'm being constantly hit on. And I already have a hard enough time with dudes talking about sex stuff, let alone dudes talking about sex stuff with other dudes. I'd rather not be around that. Either way, it's just, like I said, even though they're all very nice, I just didn't feel spiritually in a good place. I also think I saw/felt the presence of at least 2 or 3 spirits there. That's another story I'm gonna get into too, also, about how I'm sensitive to that stuff. By the way, just to talk about semantics real quick: spirits, ghosts, demons, aliens, all the same thing. But anyway, that's another, like I said, I'll get into all that. Like I said, like, they weren't even dark spirits. There's different types and kinds, and things I've encountered. Like I said, I'm gonna have a really I've decided I'm gonna have a really long video about my history and past, the occult and occult experiences. I mean, I don't know, it's definitely going to be some hardcore truth and some explicit material, but being, as, some way, shape, or form, I guess, a pastor, or not even a pastor, or a preacher, I don't even know. But anyway, I feel like I should give a nice history of how I, myself, my past, and how I found Jesus, and how, hearkening on back to something I said in one of my rants about, basically, if you knew what I knew, you'd be a Christian too. Which sounds like a good song title or possibly book title. Yeah, if I could, I don't know. I'm not good at writing long, extended. Like, I've done plenty of short stories. Gosh, I've actually been published a couple of times when I was a kid in the local paper. Nothing to brag about, but I have used to write. But like I said, I can't really do anything past a short story. I have a hard time focusing sometimes, and writing is something that, like, really most of my artistic endeavors unfortunately have to take place. Are you going all the way, dude? All right, doing a 3-lane cross. At least use this blinker. Whenever I'm doing anything, artistic, I got to be feeling it. Like, I don't, I'm decent. I've never, I don't think I could ever make money with anything I could do. But the art community is 100% subjective in a lot of ways. It's almost like the scientific community or the literary community or the social community, where you kind of have to go along with the flow. Fashion, really everything's controlled, and but that's another. I'm getting off topic, but basically, I can never do anything like that professionally. Except writing. I think I've had ideas for sketch comedy and stuff that's actually not offensive. Which, isn't terribly hard to do, especially once you take a step back and start watching, stuff that resorts to party humor, and it's not really funny anymore. I don't know. I just feel like I would rather be surrounded by Christians and like-minded people. Not even to the extent of truthers. I got a big bug bite right there. Because those are even harder to find. But at least people that love Jesus. Like, I would have no problem just, talking about scripture and Jesus and, keeping the end of the world to myself. Really, the most important thing is that people have found Jesus. It's just unfortunately easier, I think, personally. I don't know. Maybe it's because what are you doing? Maybe because I came from the dark side first to explain what's going on through their workings. Because unfortunately, and I'm sorry if this sounds blasphemous, but it's harder for people to see the workings of God, at least nowadays, because they think everything's chaos. They think stuff exploded and made stuff, and all this stuff's just random stuff, and they could appreciate, the beauty of nature, but it just doesn't really go any further past that. So, gosh, I'm exhausted, and I'm losing my train of thought super, super, super easily. This is almost just like a bookmark, like not bookmark, sticky note type of stuff. I'm thinking about stuff that I want to talk about later once I've had a nap and I'm a little clearer of head, clearly. I kind of wanted to try something with background music too. Obviously no vocals and stuff. There's this one song I really like that's kind of chill, and I think it might work in the background. And I kind of wanted to, see what would happen if I, put that on in the background, sort of like, background music to. I just remembered mainly why. Mostly because I'm going to be choosing my words very carefully. So there's going to be a lot of pauses and ums and such, because like I said, I'm going to be choosing my words very carefully, because I'm going to be touching on explicit content, and I want to keep it not graphic and not too much TMI. Because unfortunately, there will be, if I'm going to talk about my history and my past, which I think personally is important as part of me and why I feel compelled to preach, to try to, save, whom I can, who's, capable of being saved, I guess. Unfortunately, you can't save everybody. But, yeah, there's going to be a lot of pauses and, so I kind of want to keep things going. So I think background music, something low-key and kind of chill, might keep things going a little bit smoother. You can tell how I've been eating from my neck and my face. I gained weight in my face first, which is good in the way that it keeps you not from gaining too much weight, because you immediately see it. Like if you could hide weight and like wear it well, that's great in its own sense as well. But if you could put on 5-10 pounds and immediately see like a good third of that like in your neck and jowls, excuse me, it makes you want to do something about it. Excuse me, I've been pounding room temperature Red Bull. I let it sit too long because it took me too long to drink my coffee. I know this is gonna sound sexist in like a blanket statement, but it's been my personal experience that men suck at making coffee. Like I said, no, like I know that sounds sexist, but whenever I like 99 times out of 100, because I have a bit of a like my personal guilty pleasure is iced coffee. I'll get myself an iced coffee. Like to sometimes drive around and listen to music, but have myself an iced coffee. It really stinks when you gotta think about your activities in the manner of how much is this going to cost me and can I afford it. I just feel like I just want the freedom to do my own thing most of the time, which isn't even a bad thing. I just want to thank you. I just want to like I don't want to bum anyone out or bug anybody, but if I'm up at like 2 or 3 in the morning as I want to do, and I want to cook food, I would like to be able to cook food. If if I want to listen to music while I'm doing that, which makes work in the kitchen a lot better, I would like to be able to do that. I just want to be able to I'd like to be able to go out and smoke a cigarette without having to like try to fake conversation with somebody. That sounds really rude probably, but I'm just not. I don't know if I'm not social. If I'm not socially adjusted very well. I've dealt with a lot of bullying in my past. That's a whole nother can of bananas. I'm running out of time. Rambler, like I said, I'm just trying to keep myself awake and take a break from smoking cigarettes and chat a little bit, I guess. Put something up. So, there might be some people wondering if I'm still alive. Because where I was, I had absolutely no cell phone service, and even though I have the Wi-Fi calling thing or whatever, I was not able to text anybody, and I didn't have any privacy to talk on the phone. I don't know. Blah blah blah. I just quietly trail off. Forget what I'm doing. Oh gosh, yeah, there was a brief period through Connecticut where I just kept like zoning out. Like I wasn't swerving or anything, but I got one of the things about I'm running out of time. One of the things about working mornings a lot is you get used to autopilot driving, so you just kind of can pay attention to what you're doing within the realm of traffic without really I used to be sometimes half asleep, and I'd start driving to my old job that I worked for like 8 years. Anyway, running out of time. Love you guys. I'm still alive for now. Gonna put out some stuff later. Gonna try and experiment with background music as well. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and God bless.